As lawyers for South Florida rapper YNW Melly allege Broward County prosecutors committed a felony themselves in the rapper's double case.
Why there's a change, why something like that. But she's not here. This is her case. We spent 2-3 months trying the case originally. It came to a jury, but she's not here for this. I don't understand that.
YNW Melly was seen smiling and crying inside a court as the chances of his case being dismissed is extremely high, as the lead prosecutor and state attorneys were caught breaking laws inside of his case. This will affect YNW Melly's rights according to the 14th Amendment, as it all began with the judge outlining what crimes were committed against YNW Melly in his trial.
You indicated here that counsel for the defendant believes that there is probable cause that the witnesses under subpoena, the members of the state attorney's office and the elected state attorney to have committed obstruction of justice and attempted witness tampering and felony pursuant to FS 838.022 for misuse of public office due to their actions since October of 2020.
That's what it says, Ron.
That's right. Very serious allegation.
Very serious allegation. Very serious.
As the judge is extremely furious, as the YNW Melly trial is now just becoming a massive mess. It's also a huge waste of time and a waste of taxpayer dollars, according to the judge himself. As the judge would also state that the lead prosecutor, Christine Bradley, broke laws in this trial and then didn't even show up to court today, as the judge was not having it, as he was seen screaming inside a court.
Typically what I do when I have a brain or some issue about it, the prosecutor who's involved in it tells me, she comes in here, she's got an obligation of candor to the court, and I ask her a question and she advises me as to what's going on and why there's a change, why something like that. But she's not here. This is her case. We spent 2-3 months trying the case originally. It came to a jury, but she's not here for this. I don't understand that.
As now with the judge furious at the state and lead prosecutor, YNW Melly's team then submitted paperwork to have the entire court case canceled. Typically, when someone submits case cancellation, it usually gets denied on the spot for charges that YNW Melly is facing. However, the judge actually gave YNW Melly a court date to speak on case cancellation.
Jury selection for Melly's retrial will not begin on Monday, October 9th, like originally scheduled. Instead, next week, the judge said they will argue the state's motion to quash defense subpoenas of several prosecutors, including the elected state attorney. The defense motion to dismiss the case altogether will be heard next Friday on October 13th.
The fact that the judge even gave Melly a court hearing to discuss case cancellation with his current charges against him is extremely rare. Typically, a judge would deny this on the spot of whenever they submitted the paperwork. However, Judge Murphy is giving Melly a chance. This is a perfect time to do it, seeing as the state and lead prosecutor are completely fumbling this court case. However, the interesting part was when this lady would take the stand. Working for law departments, she would reveal everything about how Mark Moretti lied and what he did to YNW Melly's mother, Jamie King.
Detective Moretti said to Deputy Morell, "You need to say you were here when I served that search warrant." And it was kind of like an awkward moment. Someone described it just kind of getting twice in the head. So there's a search warrant that gets served, and I'm like, what's going on? And then the next thing, he's asking this deputy to lie for him. And again, I'm like, this is like, I'm in the twilight, so I'm like, this can't really be happening.
And the fact that there's a witness publicly admitting a detective was telling people to lie in this trial is a very serious deal. To understand this fully, we need to dive deep into the new report that shares Melly's lawyer Benjamin is requesting the removal of Christine Bradley and the state attorney's office from the YNW Melly trial, based on Brady violations filed last week. Christine Bradley is the lead prosecutor against YNW Melly, and she committed several laws in this trial. As it continues reading, in the motion, Benjamin shares that Christine Bradley and others are witnesses now and will have their testimony contradicted by one of their own in Michelle, set to testify during the retrial, which will not look good for the state attorney's office in the public eye. As on page 4, Benjamin advises that Bradley's continued counsel in the trial will violate YNW Melly's due process rights guaranteed by the 14th Amendment, as this is exactly why YNW Melly is was paying for the greatest lawyers in the United States. They were able to find loopholes in YNW Melly's case, also finding out that there are people committing crimes that are against Melly, as this now makes Melly's chances of release extremely high due to his rights as explained here.
Have added Christine Bradley, the prosecutor herself, to the witness list, and 5 other attorneys from the state attorney's office who they say knew about this situation. That's 7 attorneys from the state attorney's office. Because of this, Melly's attorneys are saying keeping Christine Bradley and this state attorney's office on this case is not only a conflict of interest, it's actually a violation of Melly's right to due process, which is a part of the 14th Amendment.
With all of the pressure in the world going against Christine Bradley and the state attorney's office, Melly's lawyers are doing everything they can to have the case canceled. As stated by Bryson Paul on Twitter, the ask is the defense asking the judge to dismiss the indictment altogether, which would mean that Melly would no longer face these double charges. If the judge grants the motion, he will go home. As this all began with the Mark Moretti vs. YNW Melly's conflict as explained here.
So Melly's team is saying they just found out in August, like last month, that Detective Moretti was under investigation for an incident involving use of excessive force against a potential witness. And that witness is Jamie King, aka Melly's mom. According to this motion, Detective Moretti, Jamie King, and 3 other people, including a Broward Sheriff's Office sergeant, were in a conference room when Moretti was taking Jamie's statement. At some point during taking that statement, the sergeant in the room steps out. And during that time, it's alleged that Detective Moretti executed a search warrant, which he didn't have the ability to do, and forcibly took the phone from Jamie King. And then when another sergeant came to the conference room, Detective Moretti told that sergeant to say that he was in the room the whole time when the phone was taken. From there, it's alleged that Moretti and the state attorney's office were willing to lie to cover this entire situation up.
As we now need to dive deep into why Jamie King even filed this complaint, as it all begins with YNW Melly's last chance of ever being released. As before all of the Mark Moretti vs. Melly's mother situation started, Melly's bail request was originally denied and everything was looking negative. As Bryson Paul would report that inside of the courtroom it would be revealed Judge Murphy has officially denied bail, leading into his retrial, which begins jury selection on October 9th. In an official order, Judge Murphy issued the following. After careful consideration, the court finds that the state has met its burden of demonstrating that the proof of guilt is evident and the presumption of guilt is great. The jurors' inability to reach a unanimous verdict does not alter the nation or weight of the evidence of defendant's guilt. In other words, the judge is saying that YNW Melly is extremely guilty. However, the prosecution did a very poor job at presenting the evidence well. However, none of this even matters now, as once learning the information of being denied bail, Melly did not even care. If anything, he smiled inside of the courtroom at his mother, likely because they knew they already had this backup plan already in motion. As YNW Melly's mother tells him to keep standing tall, she'd even post on her Instagram, "Nothing will stop my faith, not even this, bond was denied." As while Jamie King's backup plan is helping out YNW Melly a lot in his trial as of right now, it is important to remember that it was also announced this week YNW Melly had reportedly been charged with witness tampering in his double trial. Bryson Paul would report, "Here is the video of YNW Melly being arraigned on Wednesday in bond court on the witness tampering charges." Melly's attorney Daniel is heard telling the judge that Melly's voice was only heard in the background and nothing was definite was said by Melly among a group of people. Therefore, beliefs are there is no probable cause, as the judge and state believe is the cause for the new charge.
Okay, sir, like I said, your attorney's with us in court today. You're charged with tampering with a witness to withhold testimony in a capital life felony. And I did find probable cause for that and a charge. And state, your recommendation was?
No bond.
No bond. In defense?
Your Honor, first of all, I don't believe there's probable cause here. By the way, my name is Daniel Aronson, for the record.
Okay.
I don't think there's probable cause. What the document shows in the probable cause affidavit is that other people did things, but it doesn't say what Mr. Demmons did. There is one passage in it where somebody overheard him say something while somebody else is on the phone. Other than that, this is other people doing things. So I don't think there's probable cause. And if there's probable cause, then I say a standard bond.
With the footage hard to hear, it is much better explained right here.
YNW Melly has also been charged with witness tampering. The Sun-Sentinel broke the news this morning that charges have officially been filed against Melly for witness tampering, which are the same charges that were filed against YNW Bortland yesterday. Details about who the witness is in this case have not been revealed yet. There are rumors on the internet about who the witness is. And just to be clear, witness tampering is doing something in an effort to prevent someone from testifying or influencing someone's testimony. And yes, that can be done from jail. So the claim would be that YNW Melly and YNW Bortland did things or made efforts to prevent someone from testifying in this trial.
As YNW Bortland was actually hit with the exact same charge the other day, when it would be announced that Bortland was officially arrested.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law&Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
As YNW Bortland's house was raided while he was outside, sources are claiming that there are snitching going against YNW Bortland right now, as weirdly enough, Bortland was at YNW Melly's bond hearing this week when YNW Melly would be denied.
And the second thing is YNW Bortland attended today's hearing via Zoom. You see him right there. Which a few weeks ago, the question was raised if Melly's retrial in October would include YNW Bortland, and this is making me think that it will. So we'll see what happens.
Which then raises the question of, is Melly and Bortland gonna be getting tried together in this upcoming retrial? It would turn out to be a very terrible thing for the both of them.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.